Attention, everybody. The views and opinions expressed on the show are not necessarily those of Acts Ministry, Acts Media Group, and/or its affiliate and subordinate ministries and nonprofits. Some of this content may be adult in nature, so please use discretion while watching with your kids. Did you unmute number 4?
Yeah, it's unmuted.
Well, I know what happened was you switched it out, like you switched.
The HDMI?
Yeah, so you flipped the switch. Huh? Is it muted on there?
Must be. Nope.
Well, anyways, we'll have to figure that out.
All right.
So, yeah. Anyways, good morning. Coming to you live from Acts Media Group headquarters here in beautiful Springfield, Missouri. It's the Morning Drive with Matt and Jay. We're your hosts, Matt and Jay, and no one else, and no music, but that's okay.
Yeah.
Whenever you,
I didn't disconnect this.
you didn't, but you disconnected it from,
No.
you switched it, huh?
That wasn't 4.
It wasn't 4?
No. I didn't touch 4.
Are you sure it's unmuted and turned up?
Yeah. Yep.
Well then, I don't know what to say. Oh well, things don't work perfectly all the time. So we're glad to have you guys on board this morning. And eventually we'll have videos, intro videos that we just play so we don't have to say all this stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Say it automatically. It's a beautiful day in the Ozarks. It's kind of, it's weird how much we rely on that music to get us going, to get us pumped up. That's pump up type music.
Yeah.
So today we're talking about
Yeah.
prayer and the least addictive versus the most addictive foods. So we're Baptist, so as you can well imagine, we know a lot about the subject. Right, Jay?
Yes. Where's our video? There it is.
There it is. I found it. It's all right. I found it. We ain't got nobody.
Liking and sharing. Did we lose everybody?
Let's see. I'm loving and oh, there it is. Dennis Everson's back. He says Jay is back. Yes.
I'm definitely not 100%.
Well, you've been dehydrated and haven't eaten anything hardly at all in the last 5 days?
Something like that. Definitely.
So,
But I'm back.
back. He's back. And he's ready for action.
Yes.
So,
Good morning. Good to see you all.
boy, man, that's I got an article that we'll be reading about
Boy, that drains you, man.
What?
Oh, I'll tell you what.
being
Whatever
sick.
that flu thing was. And then I drink a lot of coffee, but I couldn't drink or eat anything.
Yeah, so then your head started hurting.
Yeah.
Every
and I
time you
thought it
drank
was part of
anything.
it.
Yeah, I was getting worried.
Even a little sip of water, and I'd get a wicked headache from it.
And your body was like, no! Well, you've been drinking excess amounts of caffeine for umpteen years.
Decades. Yeah. Yeah.
So your body's like, we don't know what to do.
I got to get rid of the coffee. It's not healthy. It's not right to eat that. Just drink that quantity of coffee.
Well, you could put thickener in it and eat it.
Yeah.
That's what they do at the nursing homes. You know how I know that? Ask me how I know that.
How do you know that?
Well, because I put thickener in my coffee at the nursing home that Dad and I used to sing at, thinking that it was creamer. It looked exactly like creamer. So I put this thickener in there, the same amount that I would put in normally. And I, went to go take a sip of it, and it was solid. It was coffee Jello.
Yeah.
And they had it right next to the creamer, and it looked identical to the creamer.
Well, to them, that's just normal. That's one of the things.
Oh, Susan Burrows, it's her birthday.
Happy birthday, Susan.
Happy birthday to you.
Can't sing that.
Yeah, we can. Yes, we can. Remember, we looked it up. In 2014, there was a lawsuit that, and the company that was, I can't remember which company it was, owned that claimed ownership of that charged a whole bunch of royalties, had to pay millions of dollars back, and it is now considered public domain.
Yeah, it was, yeah. And we won't mention the name
And
of the
because
company.
yeah, but it was because they didn't own it, and it was Good Morning to You was supposedly the one that they what have you about. Dennis Everson said, "Happy birthday to Susan Burrows."
Susan Burrows.
Now I will say, Jay, we really missed you.
Well, I appreciate that. I do.
He said, "Love that picture background. Jay's system may have naturally resisted COVID-19." You know, I don't know.
I don't normally get sick. Whatever I got,
Well, you've been gone for the last.
considering the coffee, I suppose it was at least 48 hours of actual real sickness.
That's just with, and it wasn't like you were nauseous sometimes.
It was all I could do not to throw up.
And you're like me. You hate.
Oh, yeah. I had the mouth water and everything.
Oh God, I hate that. I hate that. That's happened to me.
Gulping it down, bro. Gulping it down.
Ugh.
This is not coming out. This is not coming out of me right now.
One thing you can take if you have issues urinating. I don't know when that's coming up. Anyways, cranberry pills. Yeah.
Or you go to your doctor. He's got a very special finger.
No, I'm not going to the doctor yet.
It's time. It's time. You are of the age. No, I think it's 52.
Be like, I'm not that kind of gay. That would probably throw the doctor off.
Yeah.
That the last time a doctor had to do that, he was checking to make sure I didn't have any blood in my stool or something like that when I had a hernia. And this doctor, okay, so I'd been to like 10, 15 other doctors about this hernia, or so it seemed, and none of them did that. But this doctor is sitting there and he's like, okay, I'm going to have to, so you're going to have to lay on your left side.
With the thing.
And I looked up at the doctor, and then I looked over at the two female nurses who were both staring at me at this point in time. I don't know if they were there just to watch my reaction. I don't know. But I looked at them, and I looked at him.
They were probably the actual doctors training an intern.
And then I looked over at them, and I kind of gave him this blink, and I go,
Supervising the new doctor.
"We'll turn around." I'm like, "Thanks." And they turn around.
Men, I usually have a male doctor, but you're better off with a female doctor because there's more of them.
Yeah,
They're
and-
better at it. It's what they want to do.
So
I don't mean that, but I mean
poor
they
choice
want
of
to-
words.
they want to heal people.
Yeah. So
Men do too, and I'm not saying that the male doctors are not. But it's more in general, it's a female profession.
Women in general have more feelings, like more emotion.
Yeah.
So they actually, I think, are more into. Men have a passion. Doctors have a passion to help the sick and to make a lot of money. But anyway, so the doctor did his thing, and it's weird how funny noises come out of your face whenever something like that happens to you, and it never has before.
Oh Lord, yeah.
And I said,
I've had one.
I really wish you would have at least bought me dinner first. That's when I told him, and he laughed. I thought, man, I said, haven't you heard that like a bunch? He says, actually, no, not really, but it was pretty funny. Because,
in the movies, I'm sure he's heard it a few times.
Now, it's like,
comedy acts.
trust me, he is uncomfortable with it as well, or probably,
I imagine not.
Well, I've done it so many times. Like, I'm at that age.
Well, and there's a purpose for it. You know what I mean? There's a reason
Good morning,
to
Becky.
do it.
Good morning, Jana Hale. Welcome. I don't know how we got to talking about prostate health, but what age, Jay, would you say it's good to talk to your doctor about a prostate exam?
I don't really believe there is an age. I think that there's, if you have trouble urinating, if you got to pee and it's difficult to get a stream going, you might have it checked.
Yeah.
Pain.
It could also be caused by constipation.
Lack of strength in your...
Yeah.
Lack of...
Yeah. How did we get on this? This isn't addictive or least addictive
Yeah,
foods.
but you'd have reproductive symptoms, I would think, and symptoms that, if things just aren't right
Love you
down
too,
there,
Jackie.
more than likely, then you should have a check if you just don't feel right down there.
So, prostate health is a big thing for men over 40, right? Is it generally like over 40 or is it over 50?
50.
50?
It is now.
It is now. Okay. Well, people didn't live as long back when you were a kid.
I suppose health and diet are getting easier.
Like he's like hundreds of years old.
You know,
Yeah. Well, we got to stay away, and I can
for
tell
us
you,
as Americans,
we got to stay away from these addictive foods that we're about.
I got to
ready mention.
learn this stuff that you know. This stuff would be helpful for me to know. I
Yeah.
have a lot of sodium, a lot of carbohydrates, and I don't know what changing my diet in a drastic way like that would do for my health because I process food a certain way. Like if I would start diving in my
We were watching you
Sugar
this
all the
morning.
time.
Happy birthday, Susan. That's Pam. Pam Whining.
good morning.
Oh, it's always good to see them.
Yeah. I wish they'd come in.
Yeah, they were supposed to, but they had a car issue, I think.
I was thinking about them this morning. Jim and Pam?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think it was a deer issue.
Oh.
So I'm reading an article from Healthline.
Yeah.
Ada Jarnadatir. I'm not even going to try to. Anyways, this is an article from 2019. Now, she says that up to 20% of people may have a food addiction or exhibit addictive-like behavior. Now, that is very true. I am one of those. If I don't watch it, I will just gorge myself.
I'm not that way about food.
The number's even higher among people with obesity.
Yeah.
Let's face it, I'm still considered obese. Actually, according to the weight scale, a doctor would call me morbidly obese, according to
No, I don't think now you're morbidly obese.
Oh, no? They've changed that? I
There's-
remember when I was in my 20s, I was like 230 pounds.
No, I think
and
it's
he says,
50 pounds over is morbid.
You're morbidly obese.
You're
No.
not 50 pounds over.
Well, see, when you say morbid, I think something... Morbid is really, really nasty, dark stuff. Morbid. Morbidly obese. I think they should find a different way of addressing or labeling it.
I think it's a reference probably to the psychological part of it because that would mean that you're eating for more reasons than sustenance. You're not eating to give your
I
body.
didn't even
You're
think
not
of that.
eating to supply your body with fuel.
I need to
You're eating for
remind
another reason.
Peggy, hey, don't wear any green.
I'm not good. Whew. For a second, I thought, what have I done? We look so small in this.
Yeah. Well, we look like we're in a diorama.
Are we zoomed out wrong or something?
No. Yeah. It's just we usually have the plants and there's the space looks a lot more.
Yeah. We could zoom now. We could zoom in and it wouldn't hurt.
Becky, you are definitely not morbidly obese. Becky Green says, obese by a weight scale, like height to weight and all that stuff.
Least
I love how he
addictive
says it.
foods? Is there a list you had?
Yeah. Well, first I gotta. I love the way Jim worded this. A week ago, our car was struck by a coyote.
A coyote.
Not the other way around. Not a coyote was struck by his car. His car was struck by a coyote. Knocked out the front grille, radiator, and air conditioning. Still in the shop, using a rental.
Fun.
Yeah, and rentals you have to pay by the mile, don't you?
No.
You got to pay.
Your insurance pays if you got good
Oh,
insurance.
that's true. That's true.
If you have good insurance, it does.
That's true. That's true. Anyways, food addiction involves being addicted to food in the same way as someone with a substance abuse disorder. It demonstrates addiction to a particular substance. Okay, so that's very true. That is me all the way. Addicted to food. Addicted. So I always have to watch it. That's why the program I'm on reprograms your brain and your habits.
Yeah.
And makes you always constantly aware of what you're
I think
eating.
there's a problem when it comes to an addictive thing. Like, so if it's not the actual food that you're addicted to, but if it's you're using food to comfort yourself for some psychological purpose.
Yeah.
Those kinds of addictions, I think what happens oftentimes is you can correct the food issue, but then usually something else rears its ugly head. So, somebody who stops gambling because they understand it's been a problem, they might end up smoking more or drinking more.
Are we yellow?
It's blinking right now.
Dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're back. Is it back to red? But still, I would.
Nope. It's
So just keep watching. I'll tell you this: keep watching, and don't turn away. Don't turn off of it. It's just getting a little flickery. It looks like it's probably back to red.
it's flickery.
Still flickering. Morning, Marsha Holland. I would probably. We don't have his consent to be on the air.
He said to call him when it's happening.
Okay. All right. So he probably won't answer again. It's not flickering now, or it's still going though. That's so. While he does that, we're going to continue to read these because hey, we're going to go into some ways to battle that addiction here
Mike,
in just a
this
little
is
bit.
Jason with Axe Media Group, and I was just calling to report that we are having trouble with our signal. It's red now, but it's been off and on blinking for us, and we need you to check it out if you don't mind. Thank you.
It's almost like the internet service knows that we're calling them.
He may see my name come up and get right on it instead of answering the phone.
Well, all right. So people who have a food addiction report that they're unable to control their consumption of certain foods. Now, this is true. However, people don't just become addicted to any food. Some foods are much more likely to cause symptoms of addiction than others. All right. So researchers at University of Michigan studied addictive-like eating in 518 people, and they used Yale Food Addiction Scale, the YFAS, as a reference. I realize YFAS, that's what I say, as the most commonly used tool to assess food addiction. Now, all participants received a list of 35 foods in both processed and unprocessed. They rated how likely they were to experience problems with each of the 35 foods. Now, on a scale of 1 being not addictive and to 7 extremely addictive, in this study, 7 to 10% participants were diagnosed with full-blown food addiction, and 92% of the participants exhibited addictive-like eating behavior towards some foods, and they repeatedly had a desire to quit eating them, but were unable to do so. So the 18 most addictive foods, now not surprisingly, most of the foods rated as addictive were processed foods. Those foods are usually high in sugar or fat, or both. The number following each of the each food is the average score given.
So that's right, Jenna. That's exactly what I was talking about. She said, I quit smoking 2 years ago, but I started eating instead. And that is that's not a good exchange. I recommend the 12-step process. I mean, I think that's really the best way you can go through. The AA has a good program. The Christian program is the best one.
Celebrate Recovery is another
Celebrate
one.
Recovery. You can go for smoking. You can go for eating.
Yeah, because you don't have to. Recovery is not just from alcohol or drugs.
What they teach is for
Whatever
is universal.
Yeah, whatever you need to recover from.
What they'll teach you is that is to serve the Lord.
Yeah, it's out of your hands. You have to. I mean, it isn't completely out of your hands because obviously you got to take the steps. You know, you don't just go to this room and it magically poof goes away.
Yeah. Though sometimes knowledge can set you free and put you on the right path.
Susan Burrows says eating ice can lead to being an anemic and other health problems. Her daughter, she says, my daughter did this as a weight loss method, and she almost had to have a blood transfusion. And the thing is you you wouldn't think that, right? You'd think ice, no problem. But there's probably a lot of iron in the ice and other stuff. And if you're not nourishing yourself, is it time for a commercial? Well, we'll come back. When we come back, we'll actually hit the list of the most addictive. And
The most addictive?
The most addictive.
Oh, I thought it was
foods.
least addictive.
Well, it's most addictive and least addictive.
Oh, okay.
So we're doing a twofer.
All right, so 3.5 minutes.
So we'll see you here in just a few minutes.
Oh, after these injuries, my back is killing me. My back and my muscles are so tight after a long day at work.
Angelo the Angel with the Halo. Halo Massage and Wellness to the rescue. Medicare, Medicare, it can be a scare. Medicare, Medicare.
Are there any
it can
retiring
be a
people
scare.
that you're not able to help with health insurance?
No, usually most people who are ready for retirement, let's say they want to retire before 62, but they're not eligible for Medicare, I can help them with that as well through the marketplace or some other short-term medical plans that would suit them until they reach the age of Medicare, which is 65.
Da 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 da. Da 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 da.
You know, you get into jams, and after 30 years, I've been in all of them pretty much. No, I shouldn't say that. People have to work harder to find things that I haven't experienced.
Who knows more about your lawn than you do? Kent Wood, 417-619-4441. Call that number, sweetie.
Difference between chiropractor and massage therapist. And go.
And go. A chiropractor really works more with the joints, and a massage therapist really works with the muscles. So I always tell people that you kind of want to have as many people in your corner as possible, especially when you're dealing with an injury. So a chiropractor is great, along with a massage therapist, maybe an acupuncturist, maybe your doctor. So the more a naturopath, so that a chiropractor adjusts the joints, and this massage therapist just loosens up the muscles. So it helps the joints move a little bit better. You know, if the muscles are tight, your joints are going to be tight and smushed. But if the muscles are relaxed, then you might have a little bit more joint space.
And cut.
Cut.
I wouldn't know a space-time continuum or warp core breach if they got into bed with me. But I would know a good kitchen countertop.
Difference between chiropractor and massage therapist. And go.
And go. A chiropractor really works more with the joints, and a massage therapist really works with the muscles. So I always tell people that you kind of want to have as many people in your corner as possible, especially when you're dealing with an injury. So a chiropractor is great, along with a massage therapist, maybe an acupuncturist, maybe your doctor. So the more a naturopath, so that a chiropractor adjusts the joints, and this massage therapist just loosens up the muscles. So it helps the joints move a little bit better. You know, if the muscles are tight, your joints are going to be tight and smushed. But if the muscles are relaxed, then you might have a little bit more joint space.
And cut.
Cut.
All right, thanks.
And we're back. So Jay was just on the phone with the internet service guy, and he's the one that comes out here all the time. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah, I like him. He's serious about it, too.
Yes, he is. I told him we need to get him on the air. He's like, I don't know about that. I don't know about that. Welcome. Went from one addiction to another. That's what Jana Hale said.
Yeah.
So now,
Which isn't good.
did you send the commercials need to be shorter on a text message?
Did I? I don't know.
No, Jim did. We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
And we need to broadcast our logo on it. Protects our rights and limits.
Yeah. Which, we have it on one of them. On the Rooster Show.
Yes.
We need to get that over on there.
We were just talking about that.
Yeah.
And we need to, we were thinking a minute and a half total, 30 seconds apiece. So we will discuss that with Monsieur Rooster. You just have to talk really fast if you're talking to them. All right, because we are losing people during the, well, we'll talk about that afterward. Anyways, back to the addictions. All right, where was I? Oh, there it is. All right, so most addictive foods, according to this study, by 530 some odd people, and they rated
Most
them.
addictive.
And they rated them. All right, so
No specific order, or from most to least?
on one being not at all addictive to 7 being extremely addictive. So we've got the numbers that the people had put down on average. Number 1, pizza.
Addictive?
Yes, pizza is a very addictive food.
What is the addictive chemical?
Well, I mean, it's fat and, as far as comfort food and stuff.
Right, okay.
So fat and sodium and stuff. And now that ranked a 4.01 on average. Out of 535 people, the average was 4.01 as far as like 1 being non-addictive to 7 being extremely addictive.
So yeah.
So it's like, average middle of the road. So it has to be, a lot of people had to put 7 in order for that to be such a high number. If you think about it.
Yeah, I wonder if we'll see how serious the people being questioned. Did they question people who had a food addiction, or was it a random questionnaire that they just kind of interviewed people and asked?
Well, it said researchers of University of Michigan studied addictive like eating in 518 people. They used the Yale Food Addiction Scale, which is 1 being addictive, 7 being the most, or non-addictive, and then 7 being the most addictive.
Okay.
They rated how likely. Okay, in this study, 7 to 10% of participants were diagnosed with full-blown food addiction before this.
Okay.
92% of the participants exhibited addictive like eating behavior towards some foods, and they repeatedly had a desire to quit eating them, but were unable to do so.
Huh.
Number 2, which I figured number 2 would be number 1, but it probably was on a lot. Chocolate. Chocolate has a chemical in it that is addictive.
There's several.
Yeah. Caffeine. Not dopamine. What's the other stuff?
It releases dopamine.
Yeah, releases dopamine, serotonin, all that stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, it is all good stuff. That's why,
Love
that
the
was my
chocolate.
drool. Number 3, which seems like it should be higher as well, chips. But of course, you see in food, all on all the commercials and stuff you're seeing, it's all food.
Yeah, you can't just eat one. I get it.
Uncle Ray, welcome. It's flickering again, I think. I'm addicted to food, period. I can't seem to go without it.
Yeah.
I used to be addicted to brake fluid, but I thought it was all right because I could stop anytime I wanted.
Yeah.
Number 4, all right, chocolate came in at 3.73, so nearly 4. And then chips came in at an exact tie, 3.73 on the YCAS. YFAS.
The Yale thing.
Yeah. And number 4, cookies came in at 3.71. Ice cream and 5 for 3.68.
Is 1 being the most addicted and 7 not the least?
No. 1 is the least addictive, 7 being the most addictive. So from 1, non-addictive, to 7, most addictive.
And what were the last two again? Cookies and what?
Cookies, chips and cookies. Chips at 3.73 on the scale, and cookies at 3.71. So, number 5 rolls in at ice cream, 3.68. French fries are good. I don't eat them anymore because they are, in fact, addictive to eat because you just want to keep eating them. Especially when they're like not right out of the fryer, but anyways. Cheeseburgers are number 7 with the 3.51 on the scale. Soda, not diet, 3.29. And I know, like, even diet, like, we have,
Well, it's because it doesn't taste like that.
our pastor is, because it doesn't taste like it's sugar-free. Like, our pastor loves Diet Coke.
Yeah.
I mean, I probably shouldn't have said that product placement, but, Diet Cola. There you go.
But that's not.
But
It's
that's
the
not part
regular.
of, that's a regular diet, or the regular cola.
sodas.
Soda. Number 9, cake at 3.26. And number 10, cheese. That's one that I love. I love cheese. Number 11, which you'd think this would be higher on the scale, bacon. Bacon came in at 3.03 on the YFAS.
Yeah, so for me, addictive, I don't know. None of those.
Well, you don't
Ring a
have
bell.
a food addiction, though.
Yeah. It's weird, though, because they said that this was. So 93% of the people showed signs of food addiction. So, yeah, I guess that's a good test group. Did these all ring a bell for you?
Oh, yeah. Every one of them.
Really?
Yeah, except for soda.
Really?
Yeah. I love all of these. All of this. Everything on this. If I let myself go, I would eat everything on this, and not in one sitting. But mine was also, whenever I get something that I like, I would eat as much of it as I could and then be barely able to move. I was probably consuming 6
So
or
it's
7.
really not the food itself.
It's it's the addictive part of your brain centers, and I don't know why, but the thing is it's just like, well, I told you, I would pick something up at a fast food restaurant and then drive home to eat it, and I would start shaking with the anticipation of eating it.
For me, it's cigarettes.
Yeah.
The coffee, I like it, and that's why I drink it. I don't really drink it for an effect because I drink it so frequently and on such a regular schedule that I don't really feel much effect from it.
Fried chicken comes in at number 12, 2.97 on the scale.
Fried chicken.
Yeah, I have one of my clients that's his weakness.
Now, cheeseburgers. When you said cheeseburgers, I had a reaction to that.
Yeah. Like, did your mouth start watering?
There's lousy burger.
Right.
And excluding that, when it's quality meat, cooked on a grill, a charcoal grill.
Just something
It
about
doesn't
it.
even matter if it's charcoal. Cooked on the grill with that flame crisped outside, medium rare inside, with slab cheese, even maybe a little piece of bacon or 2 or 3 or 4. On a toasted bun. And I'm in, And
Oh,
when,
yeah.
when you
With
said
butter?
cheeseburger, that was the only thing so far on the list that I went, ooh.
Jackie says, I'm watering the food right now.
Watering the food.
And then Becky goes, what, Jackie?
She's growing it. She's
Yeah,
got it all grown out in the yard.
She had some organic cucumbers and organic carrots at the church Wednesday.
By the way, that cucumber did make me feel a lot better. And I ate the whole thing.
Oh. And you know what? Kevin is going to go, I told you so.
Well, he cares.
He does.
I like Kevin. Good man.
Yeah, well, he's the reason we have a lot of this equipment right now.
Yeah. Well, that's
Studio
true.
lights, cameras,
Yep.
that computer right there, that MSI.
Yep.
Rolls, plain rolls, roll in at number 13, the unlucky number, 2.73.
Plain rolls for now. There's another one for me.
On the scale, it's 2.73.
Isn't it funny how you do react to some foods and not to others? Or now, for you, do you react almost to all foods or what?
Yeah.
Any food you like?
Any food I like. Yeah.
Food you don't like? Eh.
I mean, not so much now. It's
So
what
like
they-
bananas, if that was all you had, you wouldn't.
I wouldn't have an addiction,
Right.
to bananas.
Right.
But banana bread,
So I guess maybe I can understand it a little.
banana bread in a
it doesn't
toaster
have the
oven with some
texture.
butter on it. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Forget
my.
about it. You were the one that got me to toasting it in a toaster oven with butter. Oh,
My brother got me to do that. You know what you do? You slice stale old donuts, slice them in half like a bagel. You butter the sliced side, and you put them in the toaster oven. Same thing.
oh yeah.
Blow you away.
With
Don't have it. Don't do it.
with plum jam.
Not tried that.
English muffins with plum jam. Is
Don't
really
try it with a jelly donut,
good. No, you don't want to do that.
but
'cause-
you can put the jelly on after.
yeah, on after you can make it your own jelly donut. All right.
All right.
Buttered popcorn rolls in at number 14 with a 2.64 on the scale, and I'm going to hurry up and get through this. Breakfast cereal is 2.59. Now, for me, breakfast cereal would rank higher on that scale for me.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Gummy candy is number 16. Steak is number 17 at 2.54, and muffins are at 2.50. Least addictive foods. Real quick, I've got 2 minutes. Number 1, cucumbers. Number 2, carrots. Number 3, beans with no sauce. Number 4, apples. Number 5, brown rice. Number 6, broccoli. Number 7, bananas. See, I'm not the only one that thinks that. Number 8, salmon, because salmon's disgusting.
I love salmon.
Number 9,
I
corn,
don't.
no butter or salt.
I don't know if I-
Although corn with butter and salt, that's pretty addictive for me. 10, strawberries.
Ooh.
These are least addictive. Number 11, granola bar.
I had an apple yesterday that was amazing.
Boy,
It's
yeah,
rare to have an
I
apple
picked it.
that is that good. And it was, what was it called?
Fuji.
A Fuji. And it was incredible. I mean, it was truly incredible. Just the right tart, just the right sweet, like even in the tart sweet department, juicy. I wasn't feeling well, so I couldn't eat the whole thing, but it was incredible.
Yeah.
Just incredible.
Number 12 is water. Number 11 is number 13 is crackers, plain.
Non-addictive?
Non-addictive. Most least addictive. That doesn't mean they're
Most
not
least
non-
addictive. Love you, Matt.
I love you too, brother. My sinuses are giving me a fit today. 'Cause
Are they?
some allergies, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's what got me. I think all that from the allergies is how I captured that illness that I got. Like all that gooky, gummy, sticky in my face. I somehow encountered this other thing that was nasty and cruel.
Yeah. 14 pretzels. Go ahead. Sorry. 15 chicken breast, 16 eggs, and 17 nuts.
We still have no music.
No, we still have no music. We'll have to fix that.
Maybe it happened when I moved the computer.
It's a good possibility. You can just
Oh,
probably...
because it went to sleep.
that doesn't usually stop it. Well, it may. I don't know. So I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on the Morning Drive today. We'll be back on Monday, same time, same channel. Be sure and tune in next for a
I figured it out. Somebody turned it down. Here.
remote show in Marshfield. It's Marshfield, right? There's an grand opening of a library in Marshfield with Johnny Rooster. So, followed by a remote. They're going to be doing some phone calls, some video calls on Open Ended today.
Good.
So some really interesting people. So until then, my friends.